Yeah, what up?
Oh, there he is.
What's going
Finally.
on?
What up, bro?
I don't know. It's actually never happened to me ever, so I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, Zoom is weird like that sometimes.
Yeah, I done like 40 Zoom calls, and I never had that issue.
Yeah, yeah. What's going on, man? How's you caught COVID yet?
Honestly, dead ass probably because everyone I know has it already. So, but nobody I know around me, is hospitalized or anything crazy. So
That's
I don't know.
y'all.
Obviously, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I don't think it's as serious. Obviously, people die, but I think the news kind of hypes it up a little too much. They sensationalize shit. I mean, I guess it's better than the opposite. Than fucking, everyone dies and they're like, I wish I told you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, I guess it beats the alternative.
Yeah, facts. What's up, man? How you been personally like coping with COVID? Are you just like staying in the house?
Yeah, dude. So, I mean, from a career standpoint, it's actually not bad. Obviously, you know that, being self-employed and shit, it doesn't really. Obviously, the touring aspect sucks, but we figure out, other elements and ways and shit. I've been thinking about it for like the older heads and shit, like the guys who really relied on fucking touring. Like that must suck. You know what I mean? Like the guys who never really navigated the internet, like
Yeah,
never sell merch, and the guys that do, big ups my homie RA and shit, like 200 shows a year. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. So
yeah,
I mean, it's definitely tough for those guys navigating. But yeah, man, as far as a career, it's been easy, But from like an emotional and physical and mental, like bro, like I'm like fucking going stir crazy. You know what I mean? Like at first, like I'm a homebody. Like I'm like a fucking hermit. I don't really leave the crib if I don't have to. But like now I'm at the point where I'm like fiending to do it. I've been texting you. I'm like, let's do some shit. You don't even live here.
yeah.
I'm like,
You were like, yo, just catch this flight to Florida real quick, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
hey, you could drive, man. Atlanta, 8 hours. I don't know, whatever. I'm like still trying to
Oh,
sell,
no
like
about
sell.
that. Any like car ride longer than 2 hours for me is like a fucking journey, bro.
Georgia's what, like 8, 7, 6 to me. I'm not Georgia. Atlanta to Orlando. I think it's like
To
8 hours.
Orlando, yeah, that's probably
6 hours, like 6 hours, I think.
6 to 8, yeah, 6, 7 hours, something like
But yeah, dude, honestly, from a career standpoint, like I can't complain. I'm selling more merch than ever. My streams are good. My
that.
views are great. I actually have more like partnerships in business than I ever thought because of like the content I've created. So I have new partnerships with companies and shit.
Yeah,
And I don't know. The money hasn't slowed up at all, which is dope. But like I said, the actual fit like life shit is fucking getting a little out of hand. So.
yeah, you looking a little scruffy over there.
Yeah, I'm out here. I grew a man bun in quarantine, dog.
Yeah, I've been seeing like the progression on social media of like when quarantine first started compared to now of how you look, and it's
Yeah,
like your hair just like it's like a real time like time lapse of
it's one of those fucking 365-day pictures, but in like 3 months.
yeah, yeah, real slow, like real gradual, but you got the man bun going and everything.
Got the man bun going, man. I'm fucking out here, dog. I figured better time in quarantine than ever. I know a lot of my homies are already going bald. You know all about that.
Yeah, I do. Shout out to Emilio.
Yeah, all the bald homies. I figured, bro, like, there's only a certain window you get to grow that hair long. So I'm like, I'm in my 20s. I'm gonna get my shit down to here. I'm gonna start shaking it around, and then who knows how long it's gonna last. You can't decide to get long hair in your 50s. You feel me?
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. You might as well. Nah, but that's good. Have y'all been like, I mean, there must be some spots like within driving distance of Orlando that's not around a whole bunch of people where you could just
Yeah, I
like,
mean Orlando's hella spread out. So I mean it's like not obviously like people think Orlando, they picture like the Disney, you're on top of each other and a bunch of fucking like fat people coughing on you and shit. But
I
I
think,
mean that is true too probably. But I mean super spread out. It's fucking there's farmland and there's it's very spread out and shit. So I mean we're personally like now we're literally like almost making plans. Like I said, we haven't left the house yet because we're fucking I don't know. I feel like I already had like this like not social anxiety, but like I said, I love being home. So I like, if someone gives me a good excuse, I'll never go to a party. If someone gives me a good excuse, I don't go somewhere. But now, like, me and my girl and my couple friends were talking about, let's go kayaking. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel, I mean, it's cool, bro. Some people got in touch with that whole like nature shit right away. I think it took me 4 or 5 months to realize, oh shit, this is still going on. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know, we might have to go kayaking and golfing or some shit and do some shit that I never would do otherwise. So we might go
Hey,
camping this week now.
hey, we did Top Golf last time I was there.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do, and you know, I might do that again this week because they actually, I mean, it's already a super wide open thing, and apparently they're cleaning everything regardless. But they also are spreading out like the bays and shit. So not only no one could be next to you, it's like ridiculously far away from people. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure fucking how legit people. You know, people say they clean shit. I see them wipe a dirty rag on something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's like one of those things like the false sense of security. You know what I mean? It's like just to make people feel better. But yeah, I might hit up Top Golf. I don't know. What about you, dog? I saw you were in the woods at first.
Yeah, bro. We've been taking trips at least once a month just to like get out of the city, like short driving trips, like less than an hour and a half, less than 2 hours. Just like
Yeah,
we got to get out of the house, bro, because we're just like we're fucking going crazy over here.
that's what I'm saying. It's hitting me finally, bro. It's hitting me. I know it hit people early, but it's fucking hitting me now.
No, facts. Did I hear something about you doing a song with Long Neck?
That was forever ago, dude. I never followed through, or he never followed through. And then he started doing OnlyFans and fucking women on OnlyFans and shit. And I was like, you know, not that I have a problem with that, but I was like, yo, this is. I know, you know me, I do wild shit, but like within the confines of like it's PG-13. You feel me? Like, like
Okay,
my shit, my
but
shit.
that never ended up happening.
Nah, and it wasn't for any like bad, like there's no bad blood. It's just I literally didn't follow up, and then he didn't follow up, and then I was like, you know, let me get back to business. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was forever ago when I just fucking talked to him and I was like, let's make this shit. I mean, it still could happen. I think this shit would jump off, but no disrespect to him, it seems like one of those old dead memes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah. Facts. Where did the name I don't think I ever asked you this, but where did the name Only for the Fans come from?
years ago, honestly, it's not even like a cool story, but it's like years ago we just were like thinking about brands and just titles and colors and like we really knew like you know I already had a brand in the sense of like my character and who I was and who I showed myself to be and how I treated my audience and whatever. But I mean it literally just came from that. You know, there was a lot of other ones that we were considering and names and things and you know when you look at anybody like Justin Bieber is the Beliebers, you know, like these guys don't really run with it, you know, after a certain point. Like Mac Miller for a while, I always wish he continued with it. Rest in peace, Mac. He always had this thumbs up shit. You remember he used to do that at the beginning of his career? So like he was like 19, 20, he always did thumbs up, kids, thumbs up, kids, right? Then he got older and, you know, he went through the shit he went through and did what he did. And then he kind of just forgot that. But I always admired that. What else? Like Selena's got the Selenators, and Nicki Minaj got the Barbies. And I was like, wow, these are all fucking multi-million-dollar companies, but $100 million companies, you know, but
Yeah.
$1 million people. And I was like, all right, so what the fuck is mine? Not that I have a name for my fans or anything, but you know, I realized, okay, you know, my fans always, you know, say I'm humble. My fans always say I'm funny. My fans always so, you know, I started picking apart, you know, realizing how important the brand was, and you know any successful brand can be broken down into 3 words: Wiz Khalifa, weed, you know, good vibes, whatever you want to call it. You know, 50 Cent, you know, now funny, gangster, good music. You know what I mean? Like whatever the fuck it is, shot 9 times. You know what I mean? Everyone's got this story that you could break it down in just a few words. So that was kind of mine, where it's like everyone always said, yo, you're only for the fans. You're only for the fans. You're always for the fans. You're only for me. You're only for us. So we literally just were like, okay, OFTF, only for the fans. And we even broke it down even more. Me and my girlfriend, we were like, yo, if YMCMB can be a catchy thing, YMCMB, then I was like, because at first I was like, OFTF is too many letters. No one's going to care. Like, oh, let's make it 3. And then I was like, wait a minute, Young Money, Cash Money, Billionaire. You know, I was like, YMCA. Okay. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, OFTF fucking works. And, you know, the rest is history. Like I've been running with it for years and, you know, it became a lifestyle. And then, you know, I started throwing in the no snakes and just, you know, that's how people summarize me, my shit. Oh, how do you, if you're a fan of Rez, you say, okay, he's about loyalty. and he's about respect, and he's about his fans, and he's about, you know, shit like that. So, you know, everyone can relate to being betrayed and loyalty and respect and shit like that. So yeah, that's where it fucking came from. It wasn't anything like cool story, you know, people got their cool stories, but I mean, it just, you know, I always been about my fans, so I just turned it into a brand.
What would mine be, bro? Mine, I've always like joked around and called mine the Kato Hive.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah, like the fucking beehive. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like the beehive, but I've never thought that deep into it. I feel like I should have a name at this point for like,
Yeah, and it's one of those things where like mine is Red. Mine's always been, you know, Res Nation, and that's my crew name, I guess. You know, I never felt like it was super duper the cool. Like I like it, you know, but I always wanted like a cool name, like the military, the or the this, the that, the fucking the you know, I don't fucking have a
what
clue.
did Chameleonaire's got one for his? I don't know why.
Probably the military, you know.
Yeah, it was like I think that's what it was. It was like the Chamilitary.
That shit is hard. You feel me?
That shit
That
is
shit,
kind of
bro.
dope.
Even hearing that shit back is hard. Like, I don't have shit. I mean, I have obviously, like I said, Res Nation, but like the resonators. That shit's. I mean, I don't fucking
The resonators.
fucking. What would your be the cartographers? I don't fucking.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I haven't come up with one yet, but
I mean, once again, it doesn't have to be, you know, about. It doesn't have to be a name for the fan base, but more so, like I actually, you know, I started like, you know, bits and pieces of this shit resonated with me. Like, one specifically was I don't remember the name anymore, but it was Made in Tokyo's. It's like Private Club or something. Is that what it's called?
private club, yeah.
So that one to me was like very direct with like, okay, it's a private club, you know, it's a club for their fans. So I was like, you know, because I was already thinking along those lines of like basically a club for outcasts. Like, you know, I'm like the black sheep in my friend group, my family, since I'm a kid. So and my fans feel the same way. I'm the black sheep in my family, my friends group, school, you know, work, whatever. I'm the one that they hate, the one that they love, the one that they make fun of, the one that they want to go out, you know, the life of the party and the nerd, you know, the one in the corner. I'm both. And, you know, certain people could relate to that. So, you know, I wanted it to be like an after school club that people weren't welcomed here. You're welcomed here, you know, whether you're fucking sober, you know, you're dealing with addiction, whether you're cool, whether you're a nerd, you know what I mean? So whatever, quote unquote. So, you know, I kind of was just giving them like a cool place to hang out. So that's kind of what it became.
Got you. Yeah. Now that's dope. And you just dropped a album. Talk
Yes,
to
sir.
me, man. How's the album been doing? What's the
Yeah, man.
feedback?
Streaming wise is my best album yet. I mean, across the board, it's doing like 40,000 streams a day, which is fucking dope. Which like at 300, I don't know the math on that, but it's gonna be over 10 million streams in a year, which is, you know, once again, it's like, you know, me and you, we both have these massive dreams. Anyone has a dream, you know. Obviously, you try to make it realistic, but you also don't want to, you know, shoot yourself in the foot and be like, oh, I should have, you know, went for more. But you know, if you do the math on 10 million streams in a year, that's like, you know, this, you can make 50, 60 bands off of one project, which is a dream of mine from years ago. You know,
Yeah,
once, obviously I want to have a record that's doing 100 million streams in a year, and, you know, and it'll hit, you know, but like when you really break it down, like how cool it is to own 80, 90, 100% of yourself and put out music and
right,
fucking be able to make 40 bands, 50 bands in 1 year off of something you did in your I recorded the whole shit in my crib during a quarantine. So
right,
like, you know, I'm saying this out loud again to kind of justify myself, you know, not self, my insecurities about like, you know, where I am in my career. Everyone gets there, has those days, you know it as well. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like, I know you talked about, you know, the beat stars, how, you know, I made 100K, but I wasn't as personable and close with the artists. And, you know, you really want to get back in touch with yourself and artists and hand-to-hand contact and shit like that. And I'm kind, you know, it's that same shit I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, well, I'm doing so well, but what does it mean? And vice versa. Okay, I want to be here, but what is that? You know what I mean? You start really juggling, you know, your goals and your visions and your ideologies in your mind. But you know, it's really cool to realize where I am now is literally a place that I dreamed of a year ago, you know. So I'm trying to kind of balance, you know, basking in the glory, but also not, you know, missing out on an opportunity because I'm so excited where I'm at. You know what I mean?
yeah. How long did the album take you to record and write and mix and do all of that? Was it like,
It was like a few months. It was like I was working on it like a little bit before quarantine, so I would say like maybe February or March.
and
Excuse me.
were you planning on touring, obviously.
So no, so my tour in March was supposed to be off my last album, which to me
Uh,
was my shittiest album, worst produced, worst mixed, worst mastered. And I'm kind of grateful it worked out this way because, oh my bad, I just ate. So fucking, I'm kind of grateful it worked out that way because, you know, now my audience, I have to push my Europe shit back again and again and again. I don't know when it's gonna be, but I mean, it's my best project yet. This one, you know, I think I could perform the shit front to back, you know, with the exception of maybe one or two songs.
Wait,
And
why do you say your last album was your worst? Was that the feedback you got, or is that how you feel?
yeah, so my fans are nice, bro, to the point where like they won't tell me if shit is trash. They'll just be like, you know, waiting for the next one, you know, like shit like that. So you know, I kind of got like that feedback, and also from a streaming standpoint, like real music prevails. Me and you both know that, you know what I mean? Like as long as you have somewhat of an audience, like obviously, like even if you have the best record and you have zero fan base, like you know, you might not hit, you know, but if you have somewhat of something bubbling, you know, real music will fucking prevail, even if you're on the decline, or even if you're, you know, if you know, with all due respect, if Mike Jones or Lil Flip or one of these guys dropped a banger tomorrow, we'd hear about it because
Yeah.
you know he's got a name, and if it's a fucking undeniable classic, we're gonna hear about it. That's my point. So yeah, it was one of those things where I mean, just like I said, that my vision wasn't set in stone. It was more of like a mixtape in my eyes, looking back on it, and I wish I wish I almost put it across as that, you know, with like that piff and just threw it out and like said whatever happens happens. But yeah, the mixing was off, the mastering was totally off, the production was totally off. You know, I did my part, but like, you know, like I said, I didn't even have a clear cut vision. And then like I said, the streams, my new album outstreamed my last album in 3 weeks. My new album already outstreamed my last album from a year, bro. It's like it took a year to hit 1.5 million on Spotify or some shit. I'm almost at 2 million on my new album in fucking 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. So once again, it's undeniable. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, you know, like I said, my fans weren't assholes about it, but like the stream, they never went back to stream it again. I could see it, you know, I could see the back end, and you know, and everybody else was basically, like I said, right after that, a month later, like, when's your next album getting here? If you put out an undeniable, people aren't going to bother you for the next album. You know what I mean?
Did you feel that when you right before you were about to put out your last album? Like, damn, I don't 100% feel confident about this project, but I'm gonna throw it out anyway because you know.
Yeah. I think it was one of those things.
You move fast, bro. Like that's one thing I know about you is like you like to like you know just finish one thing and then move on to the next thing and like you're always
Yeah,
moving.
yeah. Even if it's not good enough, because I know so many artists and people that are perfectionists, and they end up dropping 2 songs a year.
Right.
And what happens if one of those songs don't hit? Okay, you got one record. You know, you better hope that record is out of here. You better hope that record you can eat off that. So I'm kind of in this balance, you know, always constantly of quality and quantity. You know, I won't say any names. There's a couple guys I have in my head that just fucking throw out records every single week, every day. They throw out 3 albums a year. You know, they get fucking 750 features and they fucking put it all out and do whatever the fuck. You know, it's a numbers game to people.
Yeah.
Me, I'm somewhere in between where it's like, you know, I'm not an idiot. I realize how, you know, we're in the golden era of streaming. You know, obviously, if you put out more, you make more, regardless if it's good or not. You know, if you're bubbling, you could do it. But I'm also, you know, in that mindset of, you know, I still want to be a legend. I'm not doing it for the sake of becoming a legend, but I still have this kid dream of like, you know, I want to be mentioned with the greats, and I still have that chip on my shoulder. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, I've never put out a project more than once a year. So that's something that I'll never, ever do. I'll only put out one project. So my fans know how serious it is. They know the seriousness of like, okay, you know, we're approaching that 10th month. We know Rez must be up to something. You know what I mean? You know, and I'll put out a few singles here and there and throwaways and remixes and pranks and shit like that to keep people busy. But the shit always leads up to this album. You know what I mean? So.
Right. No, I feel you. Like, so when you're all right, albums finished, let's say like you're getting ready to go on tour. Obviously, if COVID wasn't a thing, but like if you were getting ready to go on tour, are there like any preparations you make before touring? Like, do you put yourself on any sort of like dietary regimen or like start exercising?
Yeah.
Do you
So
have
I mean, that's a new thing for me. Like, I actually created the whole project sober, which was the first time I've ever done it. Not that I have a problem with drugs or alcohol. you know, myself or with other people, but it was one of those things where like I put down casual drinking during quarantine, and I put down casual smoking, and I put down, you know, casual usage, shit like that. So I mean, it's been months and months. I mean, I recently I had a drink or some shit, but you know, it was cool to fucking create a whole album just like fully like level-headed, clear-minded. You know, I wasn't up here and I wasn't down here, and there was no highs and lows for the most part. And it was just kind of like I had a vision and I fucking executed that vision within a certain deadline. And it was cool to like, I almost put myself in like a conventional setting for the first time in my life when it comes to a non-conventional job. Because it's so, you know, it, you know, we all have dealt with it, and we have friends and family that have dealt with it, where especially in this industry where it's like, it's so hard to, you know, it's a fun job. You know, if you can get lost in the sauce easily. I know a lot of
Yeah.
guys, you know, get lost, you know, me, myself included. I've been lost in the drugs. I've been lost in the pills. I've been lost in, you know, I had a little lean stint. Everybody thought that was cool for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, just casual drinking, shit like that. So it was cool to really create. It's no coincidence I created my best project, just fully level headed and then sober and shit. But yeah, as far as touring goes, I mean, that's now that kind of paved the way for my new plan, where it's like, you know, I'm probably gonna party on tour, you know, so I'm gonna get my fucking body right, you know, like months and months before. It's not gonna be, you know, let me just fucking not drink for a few days here. It's like, nah, like I'm talking about 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months sober, and
Yeah.
then maybe a couple weeks drinking, and then I'm back right at it. And who knows, maybe I might have a new mindset in 8, 9 months where I'm saying, look, why would I even drink on tour? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's once again, bro, you hear me when I talk. I play devil's advocate with myself. I have this angel and devil on both on one shoulder, you know, on each shoulder. So it's like I don't fucking know, man. It's like
But
I don't know.
how fucking how sloshed do you get on tour? Because I know some artists that their level of drunken behavior increases depending on like the anxiety or like maybe the turnout of the show.
Yeah.
Really
So yeah,
top.
that's cool. That's dope that you point that out, bro. Because a lot of people always assume that people are living this rock star lifestyle, and
Yeah.
they're just, you know, addicted to drugs. It's like it always stems from something, you
Yeah.
know. And the only reason,
Anxiety.
yeah, bro. The only reason I ever drank before a show was literally anxiety, and it wasn't even because I'm scared to perform. It's because I'm scared. Like, how's the reaction? How's the response? You know,
Right.
how many people are gonna actually care? You know, it's like I know how many people show up now, which is dope. So that's a little bit less stressful. But you know, I always have this vision in my mind where it's like, you know, I'm in this fucking perfect, you know, room, stadium, arena, amphitheater. Everybody knows every fucking word. I don't have any openers. I don't have no politics involved. Everybody knows every single thing. Their hands are fucking up, and I'm just fully sober taking this shit in, man. It's like that's my dream. People got this dream of popping bottles, lifestyle models, this and that. Me, I want to be level-headed, sober with a family, kids, and just fucking like Macklemore, you know, and just making bread and doing what I love. I'll bring my kid on stage. I'll wear him on my fucking chest and fucking performance.
I feel like that's something Logic would probably do at some point. Like,
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. You're gonna see that happen. Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Yeah, bro. I have a very wholesome life already, and you know, you know how this shit goes, bro. Like Hollywood and music and entertainment, this shit is pretty demonic. Like when you get to it, like a certain, you know, when you look at a certain specific thing under a microscope, like obviously I'm not gonna blame the whole industry and actor. No, of course not. But like, you know, it's like I said, it's very easy to get lost in the sauce. So, you know, it's important to have good people around you. I had so many shitty people around me for so long that were just like, you know, eating off me and sponging off me, and even people that you know for a while. So it kind of messes with your mind because you're like, this person knows me for so long. This must be how it is. You know, people always preach day ones, support your day ones. And then your day ones start eating off you. Your day ones start fucking you over. Your day ones start doing things. And then you're like, wait, am I the one who's being weird because I'm getting rid of my day ones? Or, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's one of those things, man. It starts really messing with your fucking head where it's like, you know, this, you know, you had this picture and this image of taking care of your people, and then shit just gets fucking real. So I don't remember what the question was, but yeah.
But does that make you kind of weary of making new friends or like,
Yeah. I don't make friends. So like I do business first. I do business first, and then we become friends now. So it's like you know, back in the day, I used to, you know, make, you know, oh shit, my phone fell. Back in the day, I was doing business with my friends, you know, and
like
now I'm doing friends with my business.
doing friends with my business? Wait, what? You're okay, I got you. You're doing friends with your business.
Yeah, I'm making friends with my business instead. So now I make sure that you could, I make sure you could stand on your own 2 feet before we even become friends. I make sure you have something else going on outside of what I have going on before we're
Right.
before. You know, but that's a very important thing to me is people not relying on me for shit. I don't like when people rely on me for shit. And, you know, I already have
AKA
family.
just being leeches.
Yeah, I just don't like it. And that's the first step is someone relying when somebody says, yo, well, yo, could you just slide me this? Yo, my rent's blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, what's up? I already give you opportunities. Why don't you leverage that into money? You know, and money. Like there's some people I give money to and opportunities to. And this doesn't happen anymore, you know, thank God. But I had a lot of times where it's like, not only was I paying you, not only was I paying your expenses, not only was I giving you opportunities, now you can't pay your phone bill. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, go work at Sprint for the other fucking 72 days that we're not together. 100. But people get this ego and this fucking crazy mentality of, you know, oh, I'm hanging out with a rapper, I'm touring, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm fucking drugging, drinking, you know, so I must be, you know, on those other days I got to prepare. What are you preparing for? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Let's say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank God that's not a thing for me anymore, man. Thank God.
Yeah. Once you cut all that off, but I think it's a certain level of entitlement too that certain people get once, you know, once they feel like they're a part of your shit, that they're owed something or.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It happens all the time. I still have it happen on a small scale. Either A, I stopped letting people in, or B, I got a little bit more cold-hearted where it's like I just kind of say fuck you now. You know, back in the day, I used to get anxiety about it as a kid, bro. I was a kid with grown-ass people around me eating off me. So I used to literally like just go into my shell and curl up and be like, what the fuck do I do? And now I'm like, if there's a red flag and I see you doing some weird shit, I'm just gonna confront you. And if you act weird about me confronting you, then I already know what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of friends, bro, does Kanye still follow you on Twitter?
No, I check every 3 minutes. Not, yeah. He still follows me on Twitter, man.
That's wild.
Never reached out. I
Wait,
love
you
Kanye.
never reached out to him?
No, he never reached out to me, but I reached out to him. I told him that. Dude, so most people would like slide in the DMs and be like, check out my mixtape.
Right.
I slid in his shit and I was like, pause. I didn't slide in his shit.
What,
So
what did you say though?
Me and my girl, we used to live in Calabasas too, but like the outskirts where like you pretended it was Calabasas, but it was really Woodland Hills. So it's like, you know, the same, you know, you say Calabasas because
Yeah.
people wear it on their socks and shirt, and Kanye West is down the street. So, you know, I lived in Woodland Hills right down the street, and there was a salad place that the Kardashians always go to and shit. And me being an idiot too, I slid into Kanye's DMs and I'm like, hey Kanye, you know, been a fan of you since I'm a kid, man. I love the evolution of you, you know, your music, your personality, you know, regardless if the world loves you, hates you, I always support you, you know, I fuck with you, whatever. And then I ended up saying some shit like, and I always eat at the salad place at the Kardashians.
You tried to break the ice by like creating that
I was like, yeah, and in my mind too, I'm like, okay, you know, now he knows I'm down the street. Maybe he'll invite me to his house.
like, damn, this dude's a fucking stalker. Like,
Nah, dude, honestly, bro, I thought about that type of shit. I'm like, bro, these people deal with way crazier shit than like somebody like eating where the Kardashians eat. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
so it's one of those things, man. And it wasn't a lie. You know, we went there every fucking day, not to like spot people just because the salad was banging. You know what I mean? When do you ever hear salad is banging? So I was like, I gotta check this shit out. You know what I mean?
Facts. Did he read it though? Did you see that?
You can't see it. You can't see on Twitter. If you can, he doesn't have it on. So I don't think so. So
Damn.
yeah, that's people DMing. I'm talking about salads. You know, and maybe that's why I got ignored.
Well, he didn't unfollow you, so.
That's true, and I've seen him unfollow people. So hey, maybe he's watching me from the shitter. Like, yo, this kid's all right.
Yeah. That's hilarious. But you still going crazy on TikTok, bro. Like I see you posting these TikTok videos, and now that Instagram got the Reels thing, now that's just another platform for you to, you know, post content and level up on.
Dude, you know what sucks is like, well, two things. So I posted that fucking Cardi B shit yesterday, which the video itself is the explicit part, right? It's like, it's not like what I did. You know, I posted the video and then I squirted myself in the face with water, pretending it was, you know, yeah, okay. So they banned me, so I'm banned from TikTok for like at least a fucking few days or some shit.
Oh,
But
shit, because of that video?
Just for that video specifically, they said you've been posting too much shit that's been getting removed, so you're temporarily banned, whatever. So temporarily banned. Second one is like, bro, I have this following and I get views there and I do my thing, but it's so, and I'm just being honest saying this out loud, like it's so hard to break a record, bro. Like I don't know, like almost these trends are so dumb that I don't know how to start one. I don't know. Like I've already done the things that people tell you to do, right? Like I've hit up influencers and I've paid them to dance to my videos, and this shit doesn't fucking work. To anybody listening, you better come up with the trend, create the trend, make an example for the trend, and then get a whole fucking list of people that you're gonna fucking send it to, and then get a budget ready, and then even then it might not fucking work. So it's like one of those things where hard work meets luck, you know. And it's like, you know, I've been working hard and I've been doing dumb shit, but it's like I haven't gotten lucky yet on that app, you know. So because like you would think, me being me, I'm an artist and I have a following on a platform that breaks artists right now, you know what I mean? Like why shouldn't I be able to just break any record I want, you know what I mean? So it's like I don't fucking know. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think people oversimplify it when they talk
Yeah.
about it in terms of like a strategy to promote your music. They're like, oh, just pay some influencers this money and get them to dance to your video and you'll blow up and become big on TikTok. But
And even
like,
if your song's good, even if the song's good, like
even if the
it
song's
gets there's a different, like I believe that might have worked, you know, back at the inception before everything was watered down and played out. But
good,
now everyone's trying to do it. Major corporations are doing it. When you're competing with literally billion-dollar companies they already have the brand, they already have the dance ready, they already have the 100,000 influencers ready, and they already have $1 million budget. It's very for you, like it needs to be, you need to have an undeniable, as an independent artist, you need to have an undeniable record, you need to have an insane trend, you know, like a whether it's a dance or some sort of way that a part of the song connects with a 15-second clip, and then you need to ideally, you know, be ready to put up a budget if it starts getting legs, you know what I mean, the challenge. So I mean, I always have a budget ready for anything that starts moving, but it's like I haven't really seen, you know, anything worthy on my end yet.
so if it's not helping you break songs as an artist, do you still see the value in like posting that much content to TikTok and, you know,
Yeah.
platforms?
So like, I mean, like I still get followers from it. You know, I see a lot of people say, oh, I found you from TikTok and I love your Uber videos, or I found you from TikTok and I checked out your music. So like it translates, you know, I don't think it translates as much as people want it to translate. Like I have like fucking, I don't know, yeah, it's been stagnant for a minute, but it's like 600,000 followers, 500 something. And, you know, I probably got tens of thousands of followers over to my social medias and YouTubes and Instagram, which is dope. You know, to say that organically, you know, people pay for that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's definitely tight. But you know, my goal wasn't to become TikTok famous. I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't care about becoming TikTok famous. You feel me?
Yeah.
But my goal is to get as many people as I can to my music from any platform to another. So it's working. But obviously, like I said, my major goal later on, once I realized what was happening, was like, let me try to break a record on here. You know, and it's like I've lost a couple racks in the process of just trying to move records around and shit. And like, I kind of gave up on the shit. I sound like a defeated man right now. Normally I'm not like, fucking, normally I'm like, fucking, let's get it. You know, I'm about to blow, you know, I got good things going on, but it's just one of those things. I think I'm discouraged because, you know, you see me, right? Like, you know, you always talk to me about it. Most people come up to me, they're like, how do you do the internet? You know, how do you go viral all the time on YouTube and this social media, that social media? And it's like, I just feel like it's one of those things that I just haven't been able to conquer, like that specific aspect of breaking a record on TikTok. Like, you know, I'm a musician. I have fucking TikTok. I'm already big on it. I can already gain a thing. It's just one of the, I don't know, man. I feel like personally fucking down about myself, that it's like, damn, am I not creative anymore? Am I getting old? You know what I mean?
Nah, bro, that's real shit. That's just the game, you know. Like you're gonna miss most of the time before you hit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's how
100%.
it's been since day one for anyone in the game that knows.
Yeah.
But what's been like the biggest video or most viral video that you put out to date? I know you've done a ton of shit, but is
You
there
talking about on all social medias or just TikTok?
I guess, well, so you got your start on YouTube, right? That was the first kind of platform to pop you off.
Yeah, like 2010, I signed up for YouTube, and by 2011, I already had a music video with 1 million views, which is fucking crazy to me.
Wow. So that
But
was
you know what, bro? Is no one was on YouTube back then. Once again, like I was at like YouTube started in 2008 or seven or some shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So I was like basically there at the inception. You know, I was there within the first 2 or 3 years. And I remember I had a video that had 13,000 views in one day, and that was number like 80 on the trending. That was like that was the 80th, and that was based on views. It wasn't based on politics how it is now. So like to have 13,000 views in one day, I was literally the top. I was the 80th most viewed video on YouTube in 2011. And now, bro, like I literally put out an Uber video, I get, you know, 300,000 views in a day, and the shit doesn't even crack a trending algorithm. You know what I mean? It's like, the fuck does a motherfucker need to do? Like, Dude,
Yeah.
let a motherfucker in, bro. Come on, man. I know. Come on, dog. I'm Jewish. Hollywood's Jewish. Let a motherfucker in, bro.
Nah, facts. After that though, after that music video got like whatever 2 million views, uh, you started putting out like a lot more viral content, like freestyle videos and shit. What was the
Yeah,
one that like really, really popped off
yeah.
and got you a shit ton of like new looks?
Yeah, so the first time I ever went viral, I would that like that music shit that didn't happen overnight. So it wasn't like I went viral. You know, it literally took like a year and a half, 2 years to hit that, million views, two whatever it is on a record. And like I said, that wasn't because the content was good. That's because there was no competition. There was like 5 white kids rapping on YouTube. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it was like people were just infatuated. Like, oh my god, he looks like me, and he's from the suburbs, and oh my god, he's skinny and not muscular, and he's ugly too. You know. But yeah, 2014 was the first time I ever went viral without like a budget. No, I mean, not that I had a budget. I'm just saying it was the first time I went viral, with nothing, with literally nothing in my pocket. I barely could pay rent. I had negatives. Like I remember in 2014, 15, I literally every single time I checked my bank account, negative, 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 negative. And I would just have to fucking do a feature just to get out the negatives, come back to zero. And I'd be negative because I didn't use my bank account again for a month, whatever it is. And but yeah, fucking, I was rapping in the backseat of a car. We called it backseat bars. And this was the time when I just signed to Sony, a division under Sony. It was called Penalty Records. Like Master Ace and all those guys were signed to Penalty and shit. Like Lord Finesse used to be. I was kind of like this resurgence of Penalty. So it was like this old head, record label, and they kind of wanted to brand to younger people. So dumb me. I love the guys over there. They gave me back all my masters for literally nothing. They just said, okay, have it back. We don't do anything anymore. We'll talk about that after. But yeah, so I was kind of in this like limbo period with like being signed versus being independent. And and also streams were down, sales were down. There was no streaming yet in 2014. It just started. So I was in this weird time in my career and my life in general. So I was just like, instead of recording and putting out music, let me just go in the backseat of this whip. Let's drive around. Let's smoke. Let's do what we do. And like that's what people do. The homies go around. We smoke. We rap. You know what I mean? So I was like, let's show them. I wasn't thinking that deep into it. Like I'm gonna give them a lifestyle, because I didn't think about branding and shit like I talked about now. But I was like, let's go with the homies, let's go in the whip, and let's just fucking rap. Let's just show these motherfuckers what I could do. And I was doing all the triple time shit and double time shit. And I was going crazy without a mic, just rapping. And then I wake up next day, shit has like 90,000 likes on Facebook and like a 10 million on Facebook, literally in overnight. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then every day I didn't miss, bro, because every day I wasn't like, oh, what do I do next? I went in, I dropped the rap every day on Facebook for like 300 days. So I was just going in rapping every day for a minute, 2 minutes. I would find new locations, and I'd sit in the back of the whip again. Eventually it turned into like, it kind of leveraged music video views, and it just started leveraging shit. But that was the first time I ever went viral. It was called Backseat Bars. And what's funny is I remember like 2-3 weeks into it, I'm going viral. I'm just hitting, I'm not missing. And once again, this is before monetization, so I'm still broke, but like at least I'm feeling like I'm getting heard. So I'm hype. You know what I mean? As a kid, I'm hype, and I'm like 20 years old. And I remember 2-3 weeks later, I go on Twitter and I see a whole page of just people, like a viral page. It was called Savage Bars. And they were posting me, getting me popping on Twitter too, which I never have been popping on Twitter, same videos. And then I just see a whole bunch of motherfucking white kids looking just like me, rapping in the backseat of a car. Swear to God. I'm like, not that I invented it, you know what I mean? Like Kendrick has a record called Backseat Freestyle, and I didn't invent, I wasn't very original with the shit. But like, and I've seen people rap in a car. I can't copyright that. But like, needless to say, there was nobody popping off that in the backseat of a whip rapping at that time, in that year, in that season. I set off a fucking trend. I set off a little time bomb, and then I started seeing people pop up, and people come up to me recently at shows, and they say, "Yo, I've been supporting you since you in the back seat. Now you in the front seat rapping as an Uber driver." I'm like, "Oh, I made it real far," Like, but I don't know, man. But that's a perfect example of just switching the style up. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I went viral, literally rapping in the back seat. Okay, let me get in the front seat. Let me switch it up now. And I already have so many new fucking ideas, and we'll talk about those too, because I don't mind, because I know only 1% of people will steal your ideas, and 99% will think they will, and they won't execute it.
Yeah, facts. Nah, but it's crazy, bro, that you've been on the internet for that fucking long, going viral. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you must have fucking billions of views if we tally up like every
Oh,
single video
100%.
you've
Bro, just
ever
on
made.
my shit, just on my platforms and my socials. I mean, my YouTube, I have 20 million views just on my YouTube, and I have hundreds of millions on other people's YouTube that I know of. And then I know of, on my Facebook, I have half a billion views, shit like that. So it's like, I mean, I definitely have billions of views out there, which is crazy. I wish they were all. I wish everyone was monetized. I'd be rich as fuck right now. Like.
Facts. I'm trying to remember the one of the earliest videos that I saw was maybe the McDonald's one. When was that?
Yeah, so that was shortly after that. So that was 2015. So all these things, like, looking back on it, like if I didn't do the backseat bars, I wouldn't have garnered enough attention that people would have cared about the next one, and then so on and so forth, bro. Like, that's the only reason I have a career today is because, like, it's all drop in the bucket. People show up to my shows and they say, I only know you from this song. I only know you from that post. And like, they don't mean like that they never tapped in again. But like, if it wasn't for that post or that's why TikTok's so important for brand awareness. Like, my brand awareness is out of here, bro. Like, it's one of those things where I didn't realize it till in the last year. Like, I go places and people know me and I'm like, whoa, like, I can't believe that still. I still am like fucking mind blown because I'm not rich. I'm not even famous. I don't have a lot of followers in certain places, as far as like, comparatively to people, but it's still mind blowing to me because I see a lot of people that are my peers that, like, once again, with all due respect, that can't sell a single t-shirt. And if they go out to a restaurant, nobody knows who the fuck they are. So it's one of those things that, I just, I got to remind myself how fucking blessed I am that, I created this opportunity for myself and my fans allowed me to create this opportunity to not only thrive and make money, but to, like, feed my soul and my ego. It's a weird balance of life,
Yeah.
Oh, long story. You asked me when the McDonald's shit. I'm talking about my ego and shit. The fuck is wrong with me? Dude, 2015. That's when the shit came out. 2015.
Was
And
it
yeah, bro.
like, was it, I mean, that it didn't seem scripted at all. Like
Not scripted at all.
you just walked up to the counter and you started ordering your entire meal just like in a freestyle.
Yep. So, I went up to the shit. I wrote it like a few days prior. I drove or flew up to New York. I think I drove. I don't remember.
Oh, that
And
was in New York.
yeah, it was in Times Square, which I think they actually closed down. I think that McDonald's closed down because of the coronavirus. Just
Oh,
because, the money, the rent there must be ridiculous. You must be
yeah,
paying
yeah.
6 figures in rent a month. You know what I mean? Maybe
Right.
7. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it was in New York. It was in Times Square, which we figured, like, okay, the search results is gonna be popping in New York, Times Square, tourists, everybody, me, you, your family, fucking everybody knows Times Square, everybody knows McDonald's. So, like, it was just a winning combination because, like, rap was just becoming the biggest genre, in 2015, 2016. It's
Yeah.
kind of passing pop in around that time. So I'm like, okay, I'm rapping. McDonald's is a billion-dollar company. Times Square, billion-dollar, all this shit. And I'm like, okay, let me just do this shit, whatever. I wrote my shit. I went in, I rapped my shit. And literally, I mean, within a week, it was jumping on YouTube. And then I posted it on my Facebook, and it was doing like 1,000 likes a minute for like days, bro. It was going. The shit got 200 million views on my Facebook. This is, of course, before you can monetize, because that would have been a nice fucking check. It's not like, bro, I always miss ahead of time. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm too early to the party. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I show up, wait, look what's going on, bro.
You're that dude that shows up an hour early to the party and you're like, yo, where's everyone at? Like,
bro, dead ass, bro. Like, look what's going on with the coronavirus right now. Like we talked about, you see companies, major corporations doing Zoom commercials, and I see A-list celebrities rapping on their microphones in their house now, and all these things, like with the iPhone and adding their own things to the, like, bro, I've been doing this. So it's one of those things where it's like yeah, I'm blessed to be able to have a leg up on it and still thrive. And I'm not saying, like, pay me my dues. I didn't invent the internet. You feel me? Like, I didn't invent going viral and shit. But it's one of those things where it's like, I always showed up too early. And I mean, I'm here. I'm here. I know one time, though, bro, it's like, I don't know if it's one instance or one song or one record, or it really is always just a drop in the bucket. I'm curious to hear your opinion. But I still have that chip on my shoulder and that vision of like it's going to be that one thing.
yeah,
I still
yeah,
have it, but I've been doing it for so long, and there's never been that one thing. Like I just said, I just kind of explained myself that it's all been a culmination of things, but I still have that fucking feeling bubbling inside of me where it's like, yo, this is it.
yeah. But I think that keeps you like motivated to just keep going in a weird way. I don't think that chip ever really goes away. It's like it just keeps driving you to strive for more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Is that how you feel too? Where it's like, this is the record that I produced. This is
Yeah.
the.
yeah, I always think in the back of my head, like all it's gonna take is just one record to pop off or like fucking go diamond or some shit for me
Yeah.
for me to buy my own island and just retire and just chill for the rest of my life. But yeah, I think that's every creative, at least I think, you know.
Yeah, yeah, facts. Yeah, facts. Bro, that after that McDonald's shit, like I said, I had no money in my bank account and I got like a $30,000 or $40,000 check from McDonald's themselves. Not because of the video, because they flew me out to do a commercial and shit. And they never put out the commercial. It aired on Hulu a couple times back.
Oh,
But it was one
yeah.
of which I also found out I got fucking robbed. Like the guy was like, "This is all your." The director, he pulls me aside and he looks at the sheet of what everybody's getting paid and he goes, "This is all you're getting paid," or some shit. Literally told me this shit. And because me being me, I got shitty management. I had a lawyer at the time eating off me as well, like a percentage. So like, and then I had to pay taxes, and it was in California. So you know how that goes. So it's like that 40K turned into 15K real fucking quick. You know what I mean? And then I fucking bought shoes and I gambled some away, and I fucking did dumbass rapper shit. I bought jewelry, and I paid my rent. I was responsible, but then everything left over, I didn't put it into a savings or reinvest it. I was just like, this is what I deserve. And then I got exactly what I deserved, and I didn't get shit else for a fucking while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. It's so wild, bro. Like,
Wild times, bro. I learned a lot from that. I turned down a Mitsubishi commercial recently because it's in California and they wanted me to rap and they wanted me to do this shit. And they were like, okay, well, we have 15K. I'm like, you can suck my dick. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where, most people would be like, oh, we'll get the promotion and get the things. I'm like, hell no. Like, I already learned my shit. I went to this McDonald's shoot. These motherfuckers said you are underpaid. So now I have some sort of an idea of what's realistic, what's not. I already talked to friends. I already asked people around. And it wasn't even like I was like, suck my dick right away. I was, let me step back. I was like, I countered. I was like, I'll do it for fucking 75 bands. That's what I said. I was feeling myself. You know what I mean? Because I'm the fucking viral man. I will make your company go viral. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, not to sound egotistical. You know what I mean? Like and then they said we'll respectfully decline. And the commercial ended up coming out, and I saw it, and it never fucking went anywhere after a day. I never saw it again. You know what I mean? It was one of those things that was like, you get no disrespect to whoever did it. I don't know who did it, but you get what you pay for. You know what I mean?
you feel like the days of going viral from your talent is over? Because when you were doing all this shit on YouTube and Facebook back in the day and your videos were going viral, they were going viral because you were showcasing like your talent. But now in rap and in hip hop, people are going viral. Like, I hate even saying this dude's name, but 6ix9ine is like going viral for just like doing
Trolling.
dumb, disrespectful, trolling shit. And it's like he has an incredibly successful rap career. That shit is like, do you feel
Yeah.
like those days are over where you can just be
Yeah,
super
I think
talented?
I think temporarily. I think everything is a cycle. I think the same way that we wanna dress like our parents now, and we want to listen to our parents' music, the same way our parents eventually got to that point, and their parents got to that. You start off hating something, and by the time you get to a certain age, you have this crazy feeling inside that you just want some nostalgic feeling, like you're sick of life, you're sick of your job, you're sick of your friends, you're sick of your family, and you're like, damn, I just want to feel like a kid again. So it's one of those fucking things that there was a brief stint where when did Kanye's the I hate being bipolar, I love it, you know what I'm talking about? When did that
Yeah.
shit drop? When did that shit drop? Like 2 years ago?
I was gonna say last year, but was it 2 years ago? Maybe.
I don't know. All right, so like you see these bits and pieces of rap coming back, and let me qualify this statement. So I don't think people even notice this, but not only on iTunes but Billboard, there was like that same week that dropped or month. So Kanye dropped his shit. Um, Then he produced the whole 7-song EP for Nas. You know what I'm talking about? That Nas joint that came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and that was popping. That was on Billboard, iTunes. And then Black Thought dropped, and that shit was on iTunes. This was all within all within the timeline of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Then Cole or Kendrick, one of these guys dropped, and I'm like, what the fuck? Not Kendrick, because it's been a minute. So I think it was Cole. But I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck is going on? Thank you. I need them. Got to sign some CDs, dog. Lifestyle, Hollywood.
Do your thing, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was one of those things where I really was very excited that it felt like fucking hip hop was coming back. And I think there's always like what's the word, glimmers. There's always like glimmers of things like shining through before it happens. So I think it takes one of those things, like it takes like something to destroy it to really build back better than ever. And 6ix9ine, I don't hate him as a person or his music. I hate that somebody is taking for granted that he's breathing right now, you know, somebody that's fucking, you know, calling out real fucking gangsters, and someone like my cousin who's a, you know, an 18-year-old kid who got shot and killed, you know, who's a swimmer, never put himself in the streets ever. So it's like one of those things where it's like, bro, like people are out here dying and you're out here taking advantage of life. So that's the type of shit I hate. I don't even hate your music. I don't even hate your mentality. I hate your mentality. I don't hate your, you know, how you look. I don't care how you dress. It's one of those things that it's just, I don't like when people
it's just reckless.
You know?
Like,
yeah, I don't like when people are reckless and act that certain way. So, but yeah, to answer your question, man, I think that it's coming back. I think it'll always come back. And I think even if it never comes back, you know, in the way that we're discussing it, I think that there's always a large fan base that's like, look at Crooked I, bro. Like Crooked I might not be the biggest guy in the world, but I bet you he has, you know, 500 people, you know, giving him thousands of dollars a year. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, not just because he's associated with Eminem. He's dope. He's nice. But it's one of those things, man, where it's just like, you know, it's like realistic dreaming. You know, it's like dreaming with a purpose and dreaming within the confines of like possibility, you know?
Right. That makes sense.
That's the fastest you've ever signed CDs. Thank you, Kato.
Yeah, that was fucking super fast. You just signed 200 CDs and
like I have no idea
Nah,
what you just
like
did, Kato, but like this is I haven't been able to get him to.
It's because I'm talking. It's because I'm busy. You know.
Yeah, like
if I start doing shit, I'll start playing games. I just got a PC, so I'm like playing
like
games
signing
and shit.
CDs and like just starts.
I'm going on YouTube. I'll start reading comments and shit. I've signed 2 CDs. I'm like, that's enough for today.
Yo, I legit, because of this whole quarantine thing, I legit was like trying to buy an Xbox. And for some reason, like we went to GameStop and shit. We were like looking for Xboxes and we couldn't find any. Like they were like, we don't carry them in the store, but if you can find them online on our website, like good luck, you know? And
really?
We couldn't find anywhere to buy an Xbox. And then
is that where the time is that like a standard thing now, you think? Because I haven't been to GameStop in years.
I don't know. I stopped. I gave up video games when I was like in high school because I got in so much trouble for wasting so much time playing video games.
What, from your parents or some shit?
Yeah, they would always fucking punish me because I spent so much time playing Final Fantasy VII. You know?
Would you, without me getting canceled, would you attest that to being Asian, that your parents are a little bit more strict?
Yeah, honestly, I probably would. They were like, they wanted me to study and get good grades.
Become a doctor or what?
Become a doctor, a lawyer, and I was just like, fuck y'all, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII.
Dude, honestly, I'm on the same shit, man. Me being a Jew, I think my parents specifically were a little bit more lenient, but it's the same shit, bro. Everybody expects you, bro. Just like, bro, we have a similar story where it's like your parents did not expect you to be an entrepreneur, a producer, you know, touring and doing this shit. My parents say, oh, you're becoming a lawyer, you're becoming a doctor. And it's like, I'm going to become a rapper. You know, it's not like I met halfway.
Yo, it wasn't even an option for me as a kid. I don't remember ever thinking that I could do something else that I wanted to, you know, like that I wanted to pursue. It like wasn't even an option for me. I don't know if that's how it was for you, but
yeah, to a certain age, it was not even an option. It wasn't one of those things like it's not even up for discussion. Like, but like if I talked, it was one ear out the other. So it was like I was just this kid that wasn't being heard. But when it turned into, you know, me being able to be self-sufficient to the point where it's like, look, I don't need you to pay not that it ever happened. I lived at home, and then when I moved out, I paid my bills. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I never really had, I always had a fallback plan. My parents never kicked me out the crib or anything. Right. But yeah, it was one of those things that like, you know, how it's undeniable. How can you tell somebody to not do something if they're paying their bills and paying their rent and paying their, you know, all their shit? Like there's no leverage. A lot of parents and people love to say, oh, you're not doing that, otherwise I'm not going to pay your health insurance. Oh, you're not doing this, otherwise I'm not going to pay your car. So it's one of those things where people like hold money over your head. So, you know, my parents specifically weren't able to really hold money over my head. So I was kind of able to just fucking do this shit from a young age without anybody giving me any backlash, you know? What's up? Yeah, she just opened the door. My cat opens the door.
Shit.
Nuts cat.
You got a super cat. Well,
you feel me?
Yeah, nah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. As soon as it's safe, bro, to start traveling again, I'm gonna come back to Orlando and do 100 more Uber raps video.
Let's do it, man. I have a bunch of new ideas. Fucking turn this whenever you record it. I'll tell you the idea.
Oh.
Whenever you stop recording. So hey, all right. Appreciate you, Kato. Peace, brother.
Peace.